Hello, folks. We are back another week. It is not 2:15:22. That's a mistake on my part because I don't know how to change stuff around. But hold on, give me a second here. It's 2:22:22:22. Is that 2:22? Okay, it's just only I forgot. One of those is too much because I'm a moron and don't know how to count apparently. But a guy who I probably should have learned how to count from is this man over here to my left, right. I don't know my rights and lefts apparently either. Which he can teach me that because he's gonna be a teacher
Oh
soon.
man,
It's Kevin Capstick. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. It's actually winter break, so I'm not doing anything. Actually, it's fun not having to wake up and drive an hour and then deal with kids for 8 hours and then drive back an hour back and then it's fun. And just doing a whole bunch of nothingness. I actually was watching the Bills podcast, not the Bills documentary on Disney, and man, is that a rough watch.
At Disney.
Yeah, on Disney Plus. It's the Bills documentary in 2015. It goes over the Bills' four Super Bowl losses. A tough watch,
I mean, it's on Disney
honestly.
Plus. I thought it was ESPN Plus.
No, it's on Disney Plus. It's a tough watch. I
Yeah, the four
got to the
Bulls of
part of
Buffalo.
after the first Super Bowl loss, and poor Scott Norwood was. Oh man, being in that situation. Oh, must have been horrible. And then the way the fans just accepted him back was just amazing. The things that that other sports cities can't do compared to Buffalo is just remarkable. Because I know if there was a kicker in any other city, they would not have been so accepting. They wouldn't be cheering for him. He said in the documentary that he was just going to stay in the back and just stay in the shadows. He didn't want anyone to see him. But the crowd was like, no, we want Scott, which is just remarkable. But no,
Yeah,
so I'm excited
I've
to watch
seen
that.
I've seen that the four Bulls of Buffalo a lot. It's one of my favorite ESPN 30 for 30s, and yes, it's very heartbreaking to go back as a Bills fan and watch it, but it also makes you realize these guys aren't losers. They went out and they won the AFC four times in a row. What other team can say that they won their conference four times in a row? What other team can like? It's like I think it was Daryl Talley said in there. If you don't want me going, you stop me. And for 4 years, no one did that. And I think it was FanDuel put out a tweet between our last show and now, saying, "What's the biggest what if in sports history?" In my eyes, it's Scott Norwood making that kick.
Oh
This is
yeah,
we're in,
absolutely.
this is a topic we didn't put in the rundown. We're just going off it because Kevin was watching the documentary. But yeah, if Scott Norwood makes that kick, where how many Super Bowls do the Bills have?
Oh, I don't know. And the thing is, like, they were a dynasty at that time in the early '90s that didn't have a ring. Like, what would happen if they got that one ring? Would that have turned? Because at that point, it was some kind of curse. I'm sure the team and the organization and the fans thought, oh man, we just can't get over the hump. But if they're able to win that first one, what would the next three do? You have no idea what would have happened. That would have been it. It would, I think, have changed the outlook and the downfall of the Buffalo Bills for the next 20 years if they kicked that field goal and if he made it.
Yeah, and I know NFL Network did the same thing with their top tens. Like they did the top 10 what ifs in NFL history, and I agree with them. If Norwood makes the first one, they probably want to win the second one. The third one, I don't think there was much changing in a 52-17 blowout.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
the fourth one, absolutely. Buffalo, I think, had a 13-7 lead going into the half, and the last one, and they ended up losing in the end. So that's 3 out of 4 there. There's a lot of a regime change. Like Bill Polian leaves after the third one. Kevin, I'm sorry if I'm ruining this documentary if you haven't seen it before,
Oh no 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 no.
but
It's I know what happens. I know the outcome.
yeah, surprisingly 4 falls.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
Bill Polian leaves after the third one. You have Scott Norwood leaving after the second one. Like a lot, a lot of people were coming and going in just those 4 years alone.
hmm And like, there's a documentary done on Jim Kelly that I want to go back and watch. I watched parts of it, but like, he had no interest in being in Buffalo. Zero. He didn't want to be in Buffalo, and so the fact that he came to Buffalo, but not only came to Buffalo, he came to like love the city of Buffalo. Like he loves the city now currently. It's just remarkable. I know he went through a lot of dramatic and life altering changes in his life that's changed his perspective on everything. But the fact that you go from somewhere, well, I'm not gonna. Why would I be? What he said was, why would I go to Buffalo when I can play in Houston? Literally what I just heard
I could play in Houston
45
or
minutes
Buffalo. Which
ago.
one do you choose? Those were
Yes,
that was his
yes,
exact word. And
yes. So like why and that changed and now Buffalo is his home. So like for his figurative home, I mean, he's not living there now, but like he he was the city of Buffalo that now Josh Allen is. I mean, it's just crazy about how things changed and perspectives changed on the world of NFL. Because you think about it, I was the same documentary. They talk about, oh, Buffalo's a horrible place to play in. They were saying that about Buffalo 10 years, not even like 6 years ago. Now look at it. Their Diggs and Allen are recruiting people to come. Like that wasn't even a thought of. You come to Buffalo, you play in horrible weather, and you lose. It's not like that anymore. And so it seems as if it's the same exact thing just happening again. And
yeah,
we just want one thing to change that's different, just one thing. And that's it. And it doesn't matter. We can go for another 20 years. Just one thing.
I
Just one
wouldn't say
thing.
that, but
No, no, no. Yes, you would.
no, one trophy would buy because they were talking about a Broncos fan saying because Broncos haven't made the playoffs since 2016 when they won last year won the Super Bowl. He was asked how many years does one Super Bowl trophy buy you of bad football. I think he originally said about 10 years. Well, after how many years have the Broncos he's been saying, yeah, I think it only buys you 5 now. So yes, one Super Bowl trophy. I mean, I do want at least one before I die. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
I want it
Yeah.
for many reasons, but I want one before I die. And I think to the city of Buffalo, it'll mean more for if the Bills
Oh
win
my
than the
gosh.
Sabres win.
I think there's not a city in the NFL that would appreciate a championship win more than Buffalo. I don't think
Maybe
there's
Cleveland.
one. Maybe
Cleveland or Detroit. It's arguably those
but
three though.
but that's it. And then Cleveland's on the bubble. I mean, they have some things they need to figure out, but Detroit's not even close right now. So like Buffalo is the legitimately only team right now that the city is like, oh my god, that city needs something. And there's fans that I've talked to who aren't from the area, who are out of state, fans of different people, different teams, and they're just like, we root for the Bills. Like, my team's out, it's Buffalo. If my team's the NFC, it's Buffalo. Like, it's just, how can you root against this team? How can you root against the city? It's just the things. It just makes me happy as a Bills fan for my whole life. How, oh, Buffalo sucks. Buffalo's a horrible city. It's a horrible team. This, and that. And now everyone's like, yeah, no one's gonna be mad if the Bills win, unless it's against your team. But like no one else is gonna be like that's it. Like it is such a it's like the little brother of the NFL. Every team, it's like Buffalo. It's your team, and then Buffalo's your little brother, and you just have to root for the little brother. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, and my question, I kind of want to ask this, how can you hate a guy like Josh Allen, to other NFL fans?
Yeah.
I don't, unless you're from KC because what transpired in the AFC Championship game last year. But even then, it's
Well,
it's tough.
You don't have a crazy fiance, and you don't have a crazy TikTok brother. Like how? I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, Brittany is loved um, by the city, and like, so I don't know how. You're right, but you're right. How can you hate a guy like Josh Allen? You can't. It's hard right now. I saw a comparison. I'm not gonna be able to figure out who it was compared to, but like Josh Allen is like, how can you hate Josh Allen? Like, he's good at football, and he's a good person. Like, and he does things for the city, and he just a fun player to watch. Those are
Yeah,
all
no bias
check
here, by
marks.
the way. We're not. There's no bias between the two of us.
And he just checks it all out. So like yeah, no bias either. Like absolutely none. Like this is just from some random fan of the NFL. But no, he checks all the boxes of a franchise quarterback and someone who can lead a team. And I think with a couple more years of the way he's playing, he might not just be the face of the Buffalo Bills. I mean, he is could be the face of the NFL if the way he's turning
Knock on
in
wood.
the way that knock on wood. I mean, I'm not saying he is. He's in a small market, so I mean that's always something that you can play against him on. But I mean, did you see what he did at the NFL award ceremony? Like clearly there's popularity there, so they wouldn't have chosen him to do some kind of skit if there wasn't a popularity. So it's a very good possibility that maybe he's not the next Tom Brady, but maybe he's the next tier down. Who knows? Because Patrick Mahomes is clearly the top echelon of players in the league. So I would be okay with with the next one down. Like if there's time, then okay, we could take Aaron. Josh can be Aaron Rodgers. You know, I'm okay with that. If that's the comparison, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we're 12 minutes in. We should probably get into our actual rundown stuff because uh, we need to get going here. So the Daytona 500 happened on Sunday. Austin Cindric, in his first real start, I should say, with Team Penske, gets the checkered flag, barely holds off Bubba Wallace to win. You and I weren't happy with what happened because, well, you jinxed my boys, but
so
one of my boys, I should say. I'll let the non-fan talk first before I go.
So I was watching the Sabres game. No, I was finishing up Elimination Chamber, and then I was like, oh, there's like 30 minutes before the Sabres game, so I turned down the NASCAR race. And while I'm watching it for 10 minutes, and then here comes a big crash. Bang. Both my bets are out. Just like that. Within 10 minutes, I'm texting Zach. It's just like, oh, man. Okay. This is fine, right? They're just going to fix the car and go back in. No, he's done. He's done. It annoyed me. It was just like, I had $45 on Reddick, and it was a return of $1,300, and I was like, damn. I turned on, he's in ninth. I was like, ooh, that's not that bad. I don't think. I text you, ninth. He's like, oh yeah, as long as he's in the top 30 within like, I don't know what you said, 10 laps or something. He was in the race. So I was like, oh, perfect. All right, I have a really good chance. And then 3 or 4 laps later, there's a big crash, and he takes himself out, and then Joey's out too. I was like, oh, there goes my other bet. Just like that. It was still fun to watch, though. It was entertaining. I like, not being a NASCAR fan, but I like the fact that they can go through the standings, the leaderboard, and who's in the race recap, and who's in what place. It's fun to see, and it's just a good visual as a not NASCAR fan.
Yeah, it hurt because not only did my top 5 favorite drivers all wreck, my favorite Xfinity driver wrecked, and my long shot who I had money on, who was leading parts of that race, also wrecked. So at the end of the race, I'm sitting there going, who the hell do I like? Who am I rooting for here? Like, so it was kind of weird there at the end because, like, I bought the so I could hear the driver audio this year because it's like, okay, we're gonna go all in for journalists this year. We're gonna try to go through and type out whatever your driver says is going on in the car because I think that's gonna help me promote the brand and whatnot. And so far, so good, I should say. I got some guy confused with Ben Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, so. But, yeah, by the end of the race, I had to figure out who else I was going to listen to because Harvick wrecked, Reddick wrecked, Bowman wrecked, Kurt Busch wrecked. It's like, okay. But, yeah, happy for Cindric. My heart hurts for Ryan Blaney, though. He had another shot to win it again, and it ultimately comes up short again for another time because he wanted to play a good teammate instead of trying to go for the win, and it is what it is. But I think he's just happy to see Penske get it.
And that's something that, as a non-NASCAR fan, it's hard to see. It's individual, but it's not. It's team. So it's hard to get the concept of, yeah, you're doing it for yourself, but there's also a team aspect on it. It's a weird combination thing for me that I will probably continue to watch throughout the rest of the season. But I like the idea of NASCAR. I think I just need to sit down and watch it because I enjoyed it when I watched it this Sunday. I enjoyed it. So I think I just have to sit down and watch it and actually get involved and get into it. I think I'll actually enjoy it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Daytona 500 and Talladega, whenever they race at Daytona or Talladega, that's usually when people watch it because it's the big racks and close pack racing. This week, it's probably going to go from the close pack racing to they're going to be distanced down a long shot because of the way the tire falls off and whatnot. So be careful. You might get bored this weekend.
Well, that's fine. I understand, and you can say the same thing with any football game too, though. Depending not every football game is going to be super entertaining. So I mean, as a sports fan, I realize that. So I can take that with a grain of salt.
So I think it's time to move on. And one part that I really just don't want to even talk about this because it was such a bad show. Elimination Chamber happened in Saudi Arabia this week. Where do you want to start off?
It doesn't. Honestly, I'm just trying to think of what part I disliked the most.
I can tell you the main event is why I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, the main event sucked. I mean, now clearly we talked about it last week. We knew what was going to happen. This was one of the possibilities. Even though it didn't come out to how we thought it was going to happen, it's still coming out that way. It's Brock versus Roman. We just didn't think that one of them were going to have. We didn't think there was going to be two titles involved, but now there is. So here's WWE pushing this match, but there's so many other things that they could do to better off. They don't need those belts to have a good match at WrestleMania. And it's just here it is, take it, and we're going to shove it down your throat. Just you want Brock? Here you go, take it. You want Brock? Take it. It's just shoving it in your throat every single time he's on TV. And his character right now is good. I like how they're portraying him. I like it a lot. He's funny-go-lucky. I like it. But I don't know, it's just predictable. I mean, once Bobby got hurt and he wasn't competing, who's going to win that match? AJ? Seth? Yeah, maybe 4 years ago I could see them winning that match. Not right now. So, yeah, predictable. I mean, it's just a predictable show. Every single night's just predictable. It's just what it is. It's no different.
I was mad that I didn't take Bobby out because I was really? That's how Lashley's going to lose his title is by that. But then it came out Lashley had a shoulder injury, and they knew about it before. My question was, why didn't they take him out because of the shoulder injury? And then one of my friends goes, "But yeah, if they take him out and they replace him, that's just another guy that Brock buries essentially." So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Then don't take him out because then you have them.
You get buried by Brock.
Yeah, you're throwing into the wolf. That's not what we want. I mean, Austin Theory looked absolutely dumb against Brock there at the end.
I actually thought that he did decent. I liked the transition. I liked what they were doing in the ring at the time.
Him running away?
The low blow. I like the low blow. He had some decent offense on against Brock, and then the F5 was a decent part of the match. I was really worried for his sake, for his life when I saw him up there. I was like, oh my god, where is he gonna throw him? I was like, he's gonna throw him in the ring. Oh my god, he's gonna die. He's gonna die in the middle of the ring. But no, he threw him off to the side.
He lands on his feet.
And he lands on his feet. Yeah, but in the defense of WWE, I mean, is he just going to land flat on his stomach 10 feet off the ground? No, probably not. So, I didn't mind the wrestling between them two at the end of the match. Of course, when it's Austin Theory and Brock Lesnar at the end, who's going to win that? Yeah, Brock Lesnar. I mean, again, very, very clear and obvious what they were going to be doing from as soon as Bobby left. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the. Oh, there it is. I'm trying to look up the other match because I don't really remember what happened because there was. Okay, so you had Rey Mysterio and The Miz in the pre-show. Mysterio wins. Actually, obviously, that was predictable. Roman Reigns and Goldberg started it off. That could be Goldberg's last match.
And it was a fast match too. It was short.
I thought it was gonna be shorter than what it was. I thought it was not gonna last more than 5 minutes, and it ended up being 5:59.
And whatever, just another squash. Next.
Bianca Belair wins the women's champion. Wins the Raw. Wins the right to face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. We
I
also
didn't mind that match. Yeah, I didn't mind it. It wasn't horrible. But again, clear and obvious what they were doing. They're setting up a rematch from SummerSlam, which you brought up last show. A week ago. You said it. So, and you're no WWE writer. So, very predictable.
Yet.
Yes, that would be fun. That would be fun. But I like the little shoots in the show. I like the swing for Alexa Bliss. The cool little details they have in there. The women they put on the show. It wasn't anything crazy, but it wasn't like the men's. So that's good. If it wasn't like the men's, that's a good step up.
Naomi and Ronda beat Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. We all suspected this. I do like how Sonya's finally getting back in the ring. Hopefully she becomes more full-time going forward.
I agree. She's a good wrestler. I like the fact that she played the fans, and Ronda Rousey with her injured arm, she came out and took that right off. It's just neat. It was just a clever heel work, and it was good. And ultimately, it didn't really matter because it's Ronda Rousey. So, but Ronda was getting a beating, actually, which I was surprised about because you don't want her to look soft heading into WrestleMania, especially who she is. But she put on a good beating in that match by both Charlotte and I can't even think of her name now. Sonya. So, but it was good to see her inside diversity and then go in there and win the match.
Yeah, I'm looking at the times now. The longest match was that women's Elimination Chamber match, and it was 15 minutes and 41 seconds long.
Yeah, you told me how long the show was. Oh, wow, that's pretty long, but it wasn't actually. It didn't feel like that bad. Like the longest match being 15 minutes. It's not long at all. But it felt like the time in the women's match, the pods going, it was fast. It felt fast. It felt rushed almost. The pods did. The timing of the pods felt very rushed.
People say with the Royal Rumble, too, is that they don't wait the full 60 or 90 seconds. Which it makes sense, because they're trying to get the match going.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre defeated Madcap Moss.
Oh, that head injury. That hit that he took to the head. Oh.
Yeah, I thought when Madcap got dropped on his head, I thought that something was definitely wrong. I don't know how the hell he continued after that.
Man. There's been some nasty injuries recently. He's
fine.
He's fine, but it could have been. And then the Sheamus's protege, who broke his nose a few weeks ago. That might have been at the Day 1 pay-per-view or Royal Rumble. But there's some little nasty things that's been going on too. I enjoyed the match. It was okay. Again, surprise, surprise. Who won the match? I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, then you have Becky Lynch beating Lita by pinfall to retain her title. Lita had no dates after this. You should have known that she was done.
Oh yeah.
This might be her final match, and it kind of irritates me a little bit because why isn't she not having it in America? She's going over to Saudi to have her last match.
Yeah. And again, another fine match. She had her moments. Her finishers, she had her backflip. She had her spots, and that's really what they wanted her to get. And it's too bad that it wasn't even at. It was at Elimination Chamber. Regardless in Saudi Arabia, it's at Elimination Chamber. If she is WWE's what they say one of their top women performers ever, and you're gonna have her last match ever be in Elimination Chamber, like WrestleMania is 30 days away.
Yeah.
Can't we just wait? I mean, I guess
But
I can see the point with
you don't want
Yeah.
you want a
Okay,
you want a premier person now headlining WrestleMania. You don't want to put Lita in there and who's a part
just
timer.
like Brock
Granted, they're
Lesnar.
doing that with Brock Lesnar, but
Yes, with Brock Lesnar and now like Jake Paul. So Logan Paul, whatever, doesn't matter.
But he's not really the headlining match.
That's true.
He's
not
not for title. He's just facing the Mysterios. Probably, I'm gonna guess day one of WrestleMania. I'm gonna guess that's the first match of WrestleMania.
I think it's gonna be another surprise. I think Logan can do. He's young and athletic, so I think it'll be a half decent match. I don't like the way he like full Nelson Dominic and then put his face in the mat. That's not how the Miz does it at all. Because that's just his face going straight into the mat with zero protection. So I don't know if there'd have to be some cleanup to make sure there's some safety mixed into a Logan when he's wrestling. But something, it just looked uncomfortable for the two of them doing that move.
And then the last match we didn't say yet wasn't a match. It was a no contest because the Usos came out and beat up the Viking Raiders before the match even started.
Yeah, I don't understand the need. If they weren't going to do it, why put it on the card?
Because I don't know. It was stupid in the end, just like the last match. But it is what it is. WWE's going to move on forward towards WrestleMania, and you'll hear probably more from us getting closer to WrestleMania because one of us is definitely not happy with one of the matches.
Yeah.
All right. So the Olympics ended on Sunday. I feel like there's some disappointment in the USA camp because if we take a look here, let's go to Chrome. There we go. Share. We're going to take a look here. United States, 5th in medal count behind Canada, Germany, Russia, the Russian Olympic Committee, and then Norway. Norway just absolutely dominated, as you can see. But, yeah, United States being 5th, that's no bueno.
Yeah, so what got me really excited for this Olympics was curling is actually fun to watch. But I watched it and they didn't even make it like past the semifinals. So horrible. So that's okay. That's gone. Shaun White didn't even. I think it was 5th.
4th.
Like 4th. Like that sucks too. And then hockey sucked too. Like what I like watching all sucked. And what I was super excited about the Olympics in general was the Sabres prospects, which none of them played for Team Canada. It got very little playing time. So it all overall was just a disappointment, in my opinion, all around the board.
Yeah. As someone who stayed up and watched all those hockey games, including waking up and watching the shootout against Slovakia when they got eliminated, I was not happy because you stay up until 11. You stay up until 11:10 to start the game. Stay up as long as you can, fall asleep, and then wake back up to watch your team lose at 2 in the morning. Okay, 1:30 maybe. It sucks. And to think that they beat Canada, there's a chance just for that to happen. It's just I don't know. It's just something needs to happen. Maybe we need better players. We need the NHL going back over in 4 years to Italy.
And I think the NHL was clearly. I don't think the NHL wanted their players there at all this year.
No, they don't.
And I think with the COVID situation, it made it really easy for them to say, "Well, COVID's here, so you can't go."
Between COVID and all the games being postponed, that's what the NHL is going to say. Yeah, you guys are going over because we need to play these games. The secret door that they have said in the past that they didn't say this year is they don't want their players get injured. I think it was Phil Kessel, like back in 2010 or 2014, one of the two, got injured at the Olympics, and he was out a while after them, and that's when the NHL was like, yeah, okay, we don't want you guys to be going over there anymore. We want you guys staying here so you guys can help our teams when you promote the game. Like, if you're out, then we can't use you to promote a
Make
game for
us money.
you. Yeah, it's less money for us, less people tuning in, perhaps because maybe they want to watch Phil Kessel or whatnot. They want to go watch TJ Oshie. They want to go watch Sidney Crosby. They want to watch Ovi. So that's one of the things I can see. That's why the NHL said, yeah, no, we don't want you guys to go over there. But the players are going to push back every time because the players do want to go over there and win some gold.
Hmm. Yeah, they're representing their country, even for like some smaller, like Zemgus Girgensson. Um, for him being from such a small hockey country, like he would go back and would love to play for his country. Like even it's just an honor. It's an honor for players. So for the NHL taking away that honor from them is not fair for the players, and they're gonna have to think of something in the next 4 years to fix that from reoccurring again. I don't know what they can do to fix it, but I don't know. And if the Phil Kessel thing is what they're worried about, then there was one injury. What, like 8 years ago? More than that?
Yeah, there was something back like a while ago.
Yeah. So that was one big name player injured. It's not horrible.
I
Like,
mean, how many? Every player that goes for the United States, though, is a pretty much a big name.
mm-hmm.
You're
But
not
like, why
sending.
is it? But it shouldn't be the NHL's decision to say, well, you can't go and represent your country. I don't think it's their place to say that.
You sign that contract though. The NHL can
Mm,
and can't can tell you what you can do and what you can't do.
that's
You can
true.
say as a fan that yes, it's wrong, but at the end of the day, it's still in their contract. They're limited to what they can and can't do. They have to be. They have to play within the lines.
And that's right. And I mean, I guess you can't really say anything as a hockey player if you sign the contract. I mean, you're doing what you love to do, and if one of the big things is, well, you can't go play for your country, what are you going to do? Not play so you can play once every 4 years? Probably not. So I guess there's a give and take, and they're choosing to play in the NHL and to show
Yeah,
off their skills every single night when they have the opportunity to step on the ice.
I mean, I would as a fan, I do want to see the NHL players go over there. It's pissed me off the last 2 years, and I mean, not shouldn't say last 2 years, the last two Olympics. Not seeing TJ Oshie go over, not seeing Patrick Kane go over, not seeing all these other guys, Jack Eichel
Oof.
go over. I was waiting for the reaction. There it is. But yeah, I want to see these guys go over, but at the end of the day, I understand what the NHL's decision back in 2018 at some North Korea. I understand their decision this year, especially because it's in China. Not sending him over, and because they have to catch up on games.
Yeah, as a fan, it's less. I don't want to say it's less fun because that's disrespect for the players that
Did
the
go over.
players that made it, and but I want to know people who was there. Like I want to know everyday names. Like if I want to turn on some random country, I want to know who's playing. I want to at least know one player from that country that's playing. And that's something that you can't really do right now when it's basically just amateur hockey players.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you who was on the team for the United States this year.
Hmm.
Everyone.
But then like the women's can do it though. But I mean it's
Yeah,
a different
because
organization. But
yeah,
still,
I I don't know where like Hillary Knight and all them play. I don't think it was in the PHF because the PHF still had games while they were gone. Premier Hockey League. Federation. That's what women's league is. But I can't. They were still coming back from Beijing this weekend, and there were still games. So I don't think any of them were still really on any of those teams.
yeah. And they're all-star players and they're best in the world. So they have to be playing in some kind of league. I'm not sure they're just picking up a stick every 4 years playing. So
Yeah,
they have to be on some kind of league playing. And I wonder what their agreement is with the their league compared to what the
Yeah,
NHL has.
I don't know. But we'll stay on the topic of hockey, and I'll let you have the floor here.
So we Buffalo Sabres update right there. See, okay, so the Buffalo Sabres, they had a actually really enjoyable match. What match?
Match.
A very enjoyable game Saturday against I don't even know who they face now. Oh, the Calgary, no, Avalanche. They faced the Avalanche. Very fun game. Tage Thompson with 4 goals. Extremely fun and entertaining. It was a kids day in Buffalo. The crowd was fun. The crowd made the game more fun to watch. It actually did. It was disappointing that Rick wasn't commentating the game because that just would have made everything better. I wish I was listening to the radio and he was greeting fans there, greeting kids. So I assumed that he was going to be commentating the game, but he wasn't. The atmosphere would have just been that much better if he was commentating. Ultimately, they took the loss after some horrible officiating, of course. Uh, Brian and Marty in the after show was like, yeah, refs say they don't want to get involved in the games, they don't want to make decisions, but they didn't get involved in the game by not getting involved. There was a horrible play. The puck was gone. Rasmus Dahlin got checked, elbowed, high sticked in the face in the offensive zone. They turned around, they carried the puck down, they scored, game winning goal with 2 minutes left. So clearly, with them not getting involved, that's an issue. And then you can go back to a few weeks ago with when the Sabres faced the Senators in the famous Aaron Dell incident where he destroyed the player. Well, the Sabres' first goal was taken off when there was an injured Senators on the ice on the other side of the rink. So I don't know what the NHL is doing. They need to make their rules. They need to be consistent with their rules. If the Sabres' goal is going to be taken off because there's an injured player on the other side of the rink with nothing to do with the play, then on Saturday when Rasmus Dahlin was on the ice injured, then the play should have been called and it should have been the goal. It should have been consistent. It's something they didn't do. Not to mention, after that, Kyle Oposo made a really nice hit mid ice against the wall, and when the player's on the ground, the player grabs Kyle Oposo's foot, falls over, no penalty. I mean, there's 2 instances right there where the refs didn't do anything. Ultimately, Sabres lose by 2 with an empty net goal. But then that's that. I mean, again, the team played good. It was fun hockey to watch. It was enjoyable. A lot of scoring. Like I said, Tage Thompson did amazing. He had 4 goals. Casey Middlestat was back. He won, I think, all 7 of his faceoffs, which was huge. The Sabres face-off percentage that day was the highest it's been in months. And then that led to Sunday where, again, they led again in face-offs. They ultimately, I think they lost like 7-3. The game got away from them fast. Again, it was a back-to-back, and they're facing another really good team in the Blue Jackets. And then we talked about last week about Jack Eichel returning to Vegas, and I have his numbers down. So he's played in 3 games. He has 1 goal and 2 assists, the point per game. It's decent. But that being said, it's Jack Eichel, so I'm sure he's going to be injured again. It's just what he does. And then, so I wrote down the numbers. So Alex Tuch has 19 games played, 7 goals, 14 assists with 21 points. That's more points per game than. That's more than 1 point per game, so that's good production by a first line winger that he has. I think the line of Skinner, Tage, and Tuck is a really good line. It reminds me of the line from a few years ago, the Jason Pominville, Jack Eichel, and Sam Reinhart line, where all that line knows how to do is score, and that's honestly how it feels like. Skinner scored 4 the other day, and Tage scored 4 too. So like in a week, both those players had 4 goals in one game in 1 week. It's pretty remarkable what that line can do. That being said, the rest of the team isn't doing anything. And then there's Peyton Krebs, who has played 26 games, has 3 goals, 6 assists. Not as good as Tuck, but the combination of the two and the futures that the Sabres have, I'm very confident right now where the Sabres are with the Jack Eichel trade. You lose a superstar, but then you get someone, an Alex Tuck, who wants to be there and enjoys his time in Buffalo and wanted to be in Buffalo. And then you have Peyton Krebs, who the vision. If you just watch this guy pass, it's ridiculous. His 6 assists on the season, all beautiful passes. There'd be no look, ridiculous passes. The vision this guy has is outstanding. I think they need to figure out in the off season how to get some second hand scoring besides that first line. Because besides that first line and Kyle Oposo, no one's doing anything on the entire team. And then you have a goalie situation where Craig Anderson plays well, and then they don't do anything. But then you have a team play really, really good, and then you have Dustin Tokarski in the net who lets in the easiest stuff. So there's a give and take with the Sabres right now and the way they're going. But it's definitely positive, and that's how I seem to end every single reaction on the Sabres. It's positive, and there's next year, but there's some real growth. They just need to figure out how to do some second depth scoring. I mean, it's just that first line. Like, Tage has 21 goals now, and Skinner has 20. Like, I don't think there's any other player on the team besides Kyle Oposo who has more than 10. So that's a lot, and a lot's riding on that first line. But if they can get some depth scoring, I think they could have some serious. I think they just need to juggle the lines. Juggling the lines, I think. They've had a lot of injuries, so there's a lot of players coming back and forth. So I think if they can get some consistency in the lines, I think it could build some chemistry. But the trade deadline is coming up relatively soon. So some players that I could actually see going, which I'm not excited about, but Victor Olofsson, I could see them parting ways with him. I believe this is his last year in his contract. So parting ways with Victor Olofsson, he hasn't done anything all year. So it would make me upset. But then you have Hag, who they traded with the Flyers for Rasmus Dahlin. I could see him going as well. He hasn't really produced or done anything, especially with Casey Fitzgerald emergence in the lineup, doing absolutely amazing. Honestly, the best defenseman on the ice on Sunday, because Rasmus Dahlin was hurt, because remember he got checked in the game on Saturday and there's no penalty. But yeah, that's my update on the Sabres. I can rant on the Sabres forever. But Jack's doing Jack things, and I'm actually, as much as I hate the guy, I want to see him succeed. That's hard for me to say, but yeah, I want to see him succeed. And I've always had, since Vegas made it to the league, I've always had a little second rooting for Vegas.
So, not to cut you off, but I was just reminded it's the USFL draft right now. So, with that being said, we're gonna hide this. I'm gonna pull this up Twitter. Actually, just look up USFL Twitter. I wish it was live so we could actually watch this happen. But Shea Patterson was taken first. Jordan Teamu taken second so far. Where's I can't find anything that gives me anything. Wow, that's stupid. But anyways, that's the two picks that have happened so far. I'm interested to see how the USFL goes later this year. Why is my camera being glitchy? But on a final note, this is added late. Kevin didn't see this yet, so as we know, the MLB locked out so far. They've already postponed spring training. I'm not happy about this. I they've been in a gridlock. The only thing I've seen that has really that they I don't know if they both agreed on or they just said fine deal is the playoffs being expanded to 7 teams in each league. I don't know if that's true. It was just reports, but who moves first to shake that hand and get a deal done here.
The thing is, both parties want to play. Like, I don't know. I don't understand when it comes to lockouts. Like, no one makes money, so both parties want to play. I don't know, and it's the league. I'm always towards players. I mean, it's hard to be against the players. Um, but I don't know all the information with MLB and the lockout. But like, just give them what they want. Like, I don't know. You're still making millions, if not billions, of dollars. What could possibly be that bad that they're asking for that will lose you that much money? So just, they're your players. They make you the money. If they're not there, you don't make money. Please your players.
Yes, but at the same time, I can agree because the players with service times. I think service time is one of the stupidest things that they do because you're holding service time. For those of you who don't know, there's a certain amount of time a player needs to have before the player goes through arbitration. Arbitration is where they get agreed, where they can go and ask for more money and have a third party agree, say, yeah, this player's owed this much, or this player's owed this much, and it, it comes down to the player team and the third party. What the teams do is they will keep a player. I'm trying to think of the Tampa Bay Ray who was held down. Wander Franco. Wander Franco was held down until June of last year, waiting to be brought up because the Rays didn't want to bring his service time up. Now, I think they need to get rid of that. I think the players need. There's something on the players I cannot remember for the life of me what it was that they need to drop because that was stupid. Oh, because the players want shorter contracts. No, you agreed to the 10-year deal. You had to play out the deal.
Okay, I agree with that. That's dumb.
Unless the teams want to give you an out after 5 or whatever, a certain amount of time. No, you signed the contract. You live that out. You can't. I'm not agreeing with this. I think that someone needs to balk soon because you're going to see a lot of fans. I shouldn't say balk. Balk's not the right. They need to negotiate more than 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That's all they did on last Thursday. You're spitting in the face of every fan when you do stuff like that. Every diehard fan who's bought tickets, bought jerseys, bought baseballs, bought whatever. And you're going to start losing fans. You're seeing fans now lose their hearts because they'll be, first off, 2020, only 60 games because you guys couldn't come to agreement then. Now we might get what, half a season because you guys don't want to work together. Now the players are like, oh, it's the owner's fault because we can still play, but they're the ones who locked us out. Why was CBA only until 2021? Why did you guys only stop to agree until that date? You're just as guilty. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. And the thing that's the worrisome is this happening to the MLB right now, but this could very much, with the way the world and the world of sports happen, this could happen to every single league.
It has. All the four major sports leagues have been locked out in the past 10 years.
I think it could be bigger. I think the fact that the NFL was able to figure something out as fast as they did, the most recent one, I think, was a credit to the NFL because the way the players are right now, across all sports leagues could make it very, very tough to come up with agreement. And the fact that they did was, I think, a credit to them. And you could just see by baseball right now, they're having trouble with that, with coming up with an agreement. If they have a 15-minute meeting, you've been on here for 50 minutes. 50 minutes. Like, that's ridiculous of the fact that they can't have more than 15 minutes for a meeting. It shows immaturity and, like, carelessness for the sport. Like, do you not care that much to play? Like, you're just going to not play.
All right, hold on. I gotta share this meme that I posted only because it involves the show. So I'm gonna try to keep on talking while I find this. But yeah, like I said, you're gonna see a lot of fans lose their heart with this game. I think it's starting to happen with me because I'm now thinking of the Buffalo Bills starting to become my favorite team because they're winning now, or am I getting pissed off that the LB is not care about the fans right now? Like,
well, the Bills should be your favorite team, anyways.
Well,
I'll ignore that comment.
Listen, I bet the Yankees are my number one. I'm not. All right, I logged in with the wrong account, but who cares? I'm gonna have to find it.
That being said, like, the agreement the NFL just made with the NFLPA was, I think, very, very good for the NFL. They're still going to make their money. They signed some huge TV deal. So if the MLB can just get over this, they can get back to where they were before. And it's just, they're just taking. And that's how I am with all contract negotiations. They all, to me, just all suck. And being a teacher, every 5 years they get new contracts, and every single year the district just takes more and more and more. And, like, and the teachers lose. Like, yeah, we're going to take this much, but you can negotiate, and we're only going to take this much. You're still taking, though. So, that's why.
Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen here. This was the original. Why is it buffering now? Good joke. This was the original tweet that I saw. And then here's my reply. Let me get back up. No, it's stupid because the only reason why that was picture was the thing is because our friend sent it to us last week, and I thought it was hilarious. Like, okay, I'm just gonna screenshot and start using it as a meme because that was amazing.
And so, like, the only fan that I know that watches. So this, he brought this up. This is a hand sewed thing that my grandma made for me when I graduated college. So when you asked what this was, that was sitting right back here last episode, that's what it is, okay? So I know he's like our only fan that watches every single week. So, like, there you go. There's your answer. If you have any other silly, stupid questions like that, please ask them, and I will answer them.
Yeah, let's see.
Ability.
Yeah, we have a chat over. We have a chat. We read your chats if you do comment. If I remember to go back and look at the chat, but okay. Anyways, I've been Zach McAdoo. Kevin's over there. I'm sure he has some final thoughts before we get off here.
Yeah. And, sports world is gonna slowly start sucking more and more and more. But the NFL season will be starting very soon, and that's what will get me through until the Bills win the Super Bowl next February. That's what I would say.
Yeah, speaking of sports ball, I am currently missing two of my favorite teams in the Florida Gators and Buffalo Bulls play right now. So,
how is that coming along with March and the madness? How is UB looking?
Like every normal year, if the Bulls don't win the MAC, they're not making the tournament. Which it's just all like always comes down to the MAC tournament, and we'll see how that comes come March in Cleveland.
And then what about Syracuse? I know it's the older.
I don't care about Syracuse.
Okay, well, same Bonaventure.
Syracuse is the rival UB, so.
Same Bonaventure.
Another rival.
Okay, well, that answers my question.
There are some people at Trainwreck who did graduate from St. Bonaventure, so I have to point out that they're doing good. They should be in they should be at least an at-large bid according to one of the Trainwreck guys.
Okay, good. It's like to see the local sports, even though you're a UB guy, but still. I mean, local sports, so.
All right. Which way am I pointing? He's been
That
Kevin
way.
Capstick. I am at ZT McAdoo, as you can see down there on both Instagram, Twitter. Good night.